This is the portable hydroelectric generator. You can see it's running in full power. You can see it is on. That's the small battery used in starting it.
What you're looking right now is a portable generator that runs on water, no gas, no petrol, and produces no pollution. This is currently powering the house of the inventor, Mr. Emeka Nelson.
It's inside here. It's in here. Then here we have the water. This replaces the water tank. Then we have a pump. The water just goes into this machine.
The story of his generator invention went viral 4 years ago, but afterwards, nothing was heard about it again.
So, I became worried. Is it that some powers that be have taken me out, or is it that the people that are in charge of the big energy sector don't want his product to come to life? So, I decided to track him down to find exactly what the story is. Now, originally when his story broke, he was in Anambra State. So I tracked him down to Anambra State and realized that he's not in Anambra State. However, I was able to track him down right here in Lagos, somewhere in Lagos. And so today, we'll be having a discussion with him to find out, first of all, how did he even come about this invention and what really has happened to this idea or this prototype that he developed. Why hasn't this product actually come to the market after this so many years? All right, so hopefully, I hope that he'll be very much open to talk to us so we can really know what the issues are. I am not sure that this idea that you have right now, you're developing a prototype, you're the first to come up with the concept.
No, I know a lot of people. There's always this,
yes. But I'm always worried, probably with the big players in the industry want this idea to fly. Because if I have generator, now what I have to do? If I mean your generator comes to market now, once the day I buy it, that's the day I say bye bye to generator. So I just be pouring water.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not actually bothered. The world is so big for everybody to play.
So how much funding do you think is good enough to push this and bring this to the market as quick as possible?
I think if we have maybe something like 5. My name is Emeka Nelson. I am from Enugu State. I am from Milikagu in the local government area of Enugu State, Nigeria. So, but I grew up in Oka, Anambra State. So, today a whole lot of people actually think that I'm from Oka. My dealings, education, and was whatever, I'm more recognized in Anambra, Ministry of Education and the rest of the stuff. Like heading to Oka was more of like, this thing in Igbo land they say Ije Kunwa. I wouldn't call it a household per se. It's more like
Someone else carries you.
Yeah. So there they had this first daughter. So it was more like a new couple. So I started living with them. The whole essence is that because they are into business, the man owning a workshop, the woman also has his own business, her own business. I had to go there. I would be the one to stay with the kid while everybody is away. So that was how the whole literally my idea as I go in there. So it wasn't like someone to stay in the home. At home and play with the kid. But according to the nature has other plans. So when we started, they put me in the same school with the little kid. It was in nursery. I'm already in primary 2.
Okay.
Started with primary 1, then primary 2. So that desire to learn to read was even brought out the issue of trying to develop a generator which might not end up using fuel, petrol, and so that was how I gave birth to it. It was more like I want to read. I don't know how to read. I can literally see some other kids there that can read because in the village then I used to take first position in the class. Then I came in there my first term.
That's in the village in Enugu State.
Yes, I used to take first position. Then I came to that private school.
Yes.
After first term, maybe I took 11th. I wasn't really happy. I was extremely very, very inquisitive. I asked most of the questions in the class. Even if I don't know how to put the words together, I can literally find a way to express myself. Tell you until this is how it's going. So that was how we started. Then the urge to read was what gave birth. So one day we were learning, there's this topic we call primary science. Mm-hmm. So I was in a class that day. We went through some, like the section where it was more of like, I saw a drawing like a box. The teacher was telling us that electricity in Nigeria we generate it from the water. They told us
Okay,
that
okay,
yes, that the electricity comes from
Nigeria
water.
is generated from water.
Yes, so that the power will NEPA brings
Which
like
class was this?
primary 2.
Primary 2. Okay.
So they told us that the electricity will generate electricity from the water.
Okay.
In fact, that was the happiest day in my life because I felt that my problem had been solved. I cannot read and I don't like lantern because of the smoke. Sometimes it affects me. I don't really like it at all. So each time in the night, I hardly be steady power is also another problem.
Yes.
So we hardly have a steady power. Most of the time in the night, that time, because in the afternoon I might not have much time to read. But that's the afternoon, maybe every other person sleeps. I can just think like sometimes trying to go through it, even though I don't know how to read. But at least I know how to pronounce some words, is, that,
And all of this
we.
is primary 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll try to, at least when I see we, is, that, I'll be able to try to look for. Then the bigger ones, I will try to see how I can lump them together and pronounce some word. That was what I was literally. But the issue of using lantern became a problem.
Okay.
So one day I went to school, they were like, oh, we generate electricity from water. I thought, Auntie, are you serious? Okay. I didn't even wait for the school to tell me. I ran away. I ran home.
Okay.
I went and brought 2 buckets of water.
You
Because
know how
naturally,
old you were then?
that time I was really 5 to 6 years. 5 years.
Okay.
So I ran home. That time I knew how to bring normal battery and put bulb. That time we don't really have this LED. Now normal,
Yeah,
no
you
touch
carry
lights
this
that time.
small battery.
Incandescent touch lights.
Yes.
I can bring. I have all those things. I know how to connect to batteries. I know what to do to connect to battery for it to come out.
At 5 years.
At that time. So because I was really in the village already.
At 5 years. Incredible.
So I went home. I brought a bulb.
Okay.
I brought 2 wires. I got from the workshop. So I poured water in a bucket and plugged it to this thing.
Okay.
But to my disappointment, there was no light. The bulb was not coming. I was like, how will Auntie light me?
So let me understand. You poured water into 2 buckets
And
then
I
you
used 2 wires connected to the
took 2
bulb.
wires, okay.
Put it in the bucket.
put it
Keep
in
it
the
in
bucket
trying
and
to-
then try to connect it.
so that the bulb will come up because I was told that the electricity comes from water.
Okay.
I was actually angry though, really disappointed. Very early in the morning, I went very early. I went to the front of the classroom, I sat down there. I was sitting, I was with the auntie. When auntie came, I was like, Nelson, Emeka, this one your face is like this ceremony. You this boy, silly boy. You always ask questions, even asking what you don't know. Learn to read first before. I told auntie, no, auntie, come. I went and brought that book, Primary Science, and opened that. You told us that, auntie, you told us yesterday, you lied to us that Nigeria will generate electricity from water. And I went home and plugged this in the water. There was no electricity. There was no power. I carried the bulb to school. This woman started laughing. That was before assembly. What I know, you went and started discussing with other teachers. They were laughing.
By the way, do you remember her name? So let's give a shout out to her because
I think that was her
because
name was
she's
Mrs.
one of-
Mweke. Mrs. Mweke. I think that was
Mrs.
just
Emeke,
open.
okay,
Yes,
because she's the one that actually started all of this journey for you.
Yes, so she
shout out
taught us
to
there.
others
I think there was
members of
another teacher that took me first, even before Mrs. Mweke.
Okay.
That all those things started. That was my. I think I really need to remember her name. When I remember her name, I'll let you know.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead.
So it wasn't later. It's okay. We started on okay. It was like, Emeka, you and this work, we just started this morning. You were taught some topic. Why don't come? Why are you so bent on? She didn't even talk to me. She was laughing like that. Everybody was laughing. I didn't know why they were laughing, but I knew that Auntie, you have to answer me today, whether I like it or not. So after the nursery, after the assembly, we went into the class. I started again. This boy, leave me, allow me to teach the class. When it was the time, he told me, okay, when it was time for the primary science topic, subject, I will address you. When time goes, she didn't actually address. Later, I went to her table after break. This boy go and play with me. I thought, Auntie, today is not for playing. Told me. She was surprised when I opened the bag and brought out the bulb.
Oh my
I told her, Auntie, I went and tested this one. This was not working. She told me. That was when she calmed down and told me, see this box that has something like a fan with a blade inside. Water comes in at the height, flows into it, turns it. This in turns something, another generator attached to it, then it generates electricity.
So let me understand. What exactly did you show the auntie?
No, it was a drawing on it, the primary science. They showed
Okay, so
us
it was a
actually
drawing.
a rough drawing of a box, but then I actually calls it a box. But maybe when I started growing up, I got to know it's actually a turbine.
Okay.
A rough sketch of a turbine, what a turbine
Okay,
looks
so
like.
let me understand. So it's kind of a textbook.
Yes, a primary science.
Okay, fine. So in that primary science, with that textbook, there's a drawing that shows how
A turbine.
water is generated.
Electricity generated through a
Generated through
turbine.
water,
It wasn't,
through a
it just
turbine.
show us a turbine in and out where the
Good,
water
good.
flows in. It wasn't
So-
really like a complete, but
Yes.
in that box,
Okay,
It's
so
what
she
you
now
showed
has
me.
to explain that to you.
that water goes into somewhere
Okay.
and comes out the other place. Then
Yeah.
this thing turns, then
Turns.
turns another turbine. Then,
Yes. The
then
light is
that's the
generated.
light. Okay, I said okay. And but you have told me this thing now. It's okay. Now the question is, how do we do that? I went and called my friend. I think her name Ifeanyi.
Okay.
I went to her and told him, Ifeanyi, see, this woman told me this. Ifeanyi might not necessarily be inquisitive like me, but he was always there to support and agree with me.
Yes.
How do we
And
get
you always need such people.
Yes.
Yes.
So irrespective of others doesn't
They was
necessarily
giving you
like him.
emotional support.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to do it, but
Yeah.
you know that I'm more of like the guy can
Yeah.
know how
He will
to
just answer
put things
yes, yes,
together.
yes.
Okay, the question is, if I has his granddad, more of like in the house, has a bicycle. Now the problem is that we already figured out, okay, we can use a bicycle dynamo. We have seen it. So the plan was, if I had to go and steal the ground, because we went to the man and begged him, the man refused. In fact, he chased us away. It came. So now, if I had to go home and get the bicycle dynamo, I have to plan on the way
Bicycle
to
what?
bicycle dynamo,
Dynamo, okay.
the thing that turns
That
and
turns,
the
that
bicycle
turns,
generator.
yes.
So the idea is get the bicycle dynamo. Then for me, I already had access to workshop. Though there's been a whole lot of within this time coming up. By that time, I already started reading.
So at this time now, how
That
old were
was
you?
towards third term.
How old were you then at this time?
I
7
was
or say
approaching.
5?
I was approaching. No, 6 years.
6 years.
So that was towards the end of third term, primary 2. So that because another issue was more like because I was supposed to be staying with my this thing, the little kid. But because of my quiz, every day I have to leave after school. I'll leave rather than staying with her. I'll leave and go to the workshop. Maybe I'll get spanked, flogged. I'll run back. 3 days later, I'll come back to workshop again. The vulcanizer workshop again. That as after flogging me, I'll go. Maybe at some point he got tired of spanking me or beating me. He just leave me. So I got more relaxed. Before you know it, I learned even how to patch tires, how to repair tire. I got so good at it that they used to call me Ken Attire then. Even when you go to Amobia now, some people call me Ken Attire because I was so small. The tire automobile tire was literally bigger than I am. But I can literally do one that, like any tire I repair, is usually the best. I do very, very
At
good
the age
job.
of 5, 6.
At 6, 5, 6 then.
Interesting.
So that time I now had opportunities. What I used to do, though I'm not a mechanic, the electrician part of it is what I do, like auto radio sets. I can literally repair car stereos, repair the one that I've described. I can repair it and sell it to all these commuter buses, town service, but can repair and sell to them, fix their own. So I also doing the same thing, repair tires and only do that for them. So from there I can get parts, weekends. If I went to throw trash, I go to the waste dump site and collect materials for myself. So now the task was on my friend to get the dynamo from her grandfather,
Okay.
which finally was able to get.
Okay.
Then the next thing was we need to go to workshop. We were able to get the box started. Now there was a stream we called Obibia in Anamobi. That stream is where we wanted to go and install it so that water flows into it and it turns and get it. Now we didn't even consider the distance. All we wanted is that we want to generate kids. How to deliver the electricity to the house is something we didn't even think of. Okay, this stream is almost over 3 kilometers away from the house. Very long, a bit far distance. So our own, we are not even thinking of that. All we wanted is that we rotate this thing, brings electricity. So let's go to water and figure out how to put it there. From my primary 3, I've already started reading physics, not even knowing I was studying physics, textbooks. But then immediately I got to know how to read. Like I started reading anything called books and lay my hands on. I started reading histories. Like I remember that I read African civilization. That was even when I read by Ojukwu, because we were involved by Ojukwu, Biafran stuff. You know, those I started reading so many books, like to the extent that the people I was living with got scared. They said I was reading something I was not supposed to read. That time, though I was reading physics thinking it was geography, reading geography thinking it was physics. Like every time you see me, I had one kind of large textbooks with me. So there was nothing, phone wasn't really something anybody can lay hands on then. So that was what I drew. Then from there I started getting more information from physics, how this thing actually works. It was then that I got to know that I can actually, if our normal generator set can actually be so small and be used at home, why don't I, rather than looking for one big water, why should I have to go to a Bibia? Maybe I could actually bring the Bibia inside one kind of small stuff like this and use it in the house. And what actually brought out that question is that my friend, I finally lost him to a generator fume. His brother bought, yes.
Okay, what? A different friend now, not.
No, the same guy.
The same guy now.
Anthony, I lost him.
Wow.
I lost him to a generator fume. His brother bought, it was throughout the rainy season. This time around, we're already approaching primary 4. So towards the, meanwhile, before this, we already had some designs, prototype. He has actually gone a little bit advanced because we tested, they found out that I could actually generate electricity. We were able to get in something, but the problem was faced again, found out that it wasn't really enough to help me read in the house, probably to power the house and help me read, light a bulb. It was just small bulbs we were lighting, so we needed more. So, but when I lost Ifeanyi to that generator fume incident, that was what brought my attention that maybe I could create something that I don't have to kill people. Maybe we'll replace this one that will buy fuel and put, rather than putting
Something
fuel.
that will not have fumes and
We don't have to go and get fuel, we have to just use water. So that was how my full journey into trying to create a portable hydroelectric generator started. That was how. So within primary 6, I already had a design that was giving me around 14 point something volt. That was one was like 100 watts. It was very portable. It looks like this I passed my neighbor Tiger generator stuff.
So let me understand, at what age did you finally come up with a proper prototype? You started this journey from...
Within that primary 2, within that time, at the age of 6 years, I already had my this thing.
At the age of 6?
Yes.
How old are you now?
No, I'm 29.
So at the age of 6, when some kids are still trying to learn how to write, you already have invented this first prototype of the generator.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that was my only problem that then, because they don't have access to phone. Most of those pictures, couldn't.
Yeah, so you didn't take pictures of those things.
No. So during then, even for my primary 6, I already known. I was a bit popular because there was this program they did in NTA or Academy. They used to call me Small Uncle. Even today in our today, they call me Small Uncle because of that program I featured in NTA. I used to go there and do. Maybe because of what I do a lot then, it was always stand out. Even with my little, the way I behave. So I'm very, very outspoken. So, and I could be very, very confident in what I do, especially when I go to, that's why most of the time I always want to go to the detail of everything. Once I know, I can literally stand anywhere to defend this, that this. I knew that this works here, this is how this is supposed to be. So when NTA came to the school, then they picked interest in me. All of us when they call Small Uncle. Hello children, hello Small Uncle. So a lot of people used to call me Small Uncle because of that program on NTA Oka. So then from there, I proceeded from secondary school. I became a principal. So it was more like all those things. Secondary, I did a whole lot of exploits, created a whole lot of things. Technology.
Different inventions.
Yes. Apart from by then, the generator was more like a gradual process. You would develop at some point. It's more like I made a brick wall. I have to stop. I face other things. There was always something to do. So continue that way. Continue. I think towards my JS3, I finally was able to make the one that gave me 220 volts. That was around 500 watts to standard to 20 volt. That one you can put it in the house, you see it powers on. So you can imagine how many years different I've gone through. It was most of the time I don't even have to sleep. Like I literally stay awake every day, and but on the daytime I go to the workshop.
14 years or maybe
Yeah, that I was around 12, 14 years. So I already known a whole lot. Like, and then I learned a lot of things. So then reading also gave me a lot of exposure because I read a lot. So that was how the whole thing started. Then towards my end of secondary school, through my JS, I designed another one. That one got several awards, both in state, local, and
what was it exactly?
national. The generator.
Same generator.
Yes, it was going through different phases.
stages, but
Different phases.
generating electricity
Generally
with water.
So each design comes with more refined. At the initial stage, people told me it wasn't possible. I was fooling myself. Initially, people actually believed I was fooling myself.
Yes,
It wasn't.
yes, as
There's
usual.
nothing could happen.
Yes.
But I like being. But for me, once I'm convinced about something, I just face it squarely. Then within my secondary school, then when I actually left CSA, Comprehensive Secondary School in Mafia, there was couple of circumstances that surround me living there. That was when the school was handed over to mission, school fees increased, ability to pay was a little bit there. So I wanted a place that maybe a little bit affordable. So I had to all I found out myself was in community school. So, but the good thing is that we going into the community school then actually give that school our activities there. Put the school at the top of the whole state. Like it was a school that was literally unknown, but suddenly, boom, the name of the school were everywhere. Because of literally one or two things we did, started winning national awards, going a whole lot of things. In fact, actually, the school actually brought that our era brought up a whole lot of smart ideas, smart skills. That was started when secondary school started transforming. If they told you that we are more of like a community secondary, we could literally go out and challenge any school in Nigeria and win. That was it. But if they tell you that this was more literally community secondary, we couldn't believe. Then the
Not like
sons,
a special technical school.
no, it wasn't. But we did a whole lot of marvels there. So then the sons and daughters of the community started picking interest. Those outside the country started doing, Then that was even when P2B was around. He started re-equipping the schools, transforming a whole lot of things. So we did a whole lot. That actually helped a lot. Then that was equally when I had to start the process of designing the waste wealth machine, the one I called Mbamwe Series 2.
Okay.
So though that one is already in advanced stage, we're already building a larger. What that one, we're able to transform plastic trash and create diesel, petrol, some other stuff, tiles. But now the machine is more like in a very bigger scale. We're already building a bigger scale of that.
So we'll get to that part.
This is, I'm just trying to. So it was
Yes.
really a very long story. Then the generator one was a little bit idle.
Okay.
And now faced it fully. So that was, I think, developing that one was more of my JS1. It was when I
Developing
created the waste wealth.
waste to wealth.
That was when
so
we had the
turning
first
plastic bottles into
petrol, kerosene, and yes, I
petrol,
was
into
able to
energy, basically.
create a machine that could do that. Because that was when I had my organic chemistry class. So then,
sorry, so let me just make this point clear so people understand.
Yeah.
Have people watching this all over the world. So basically, what you're saying that you created a machine that could transform
Plastic trash
waste, plastic
into
discharge,
diesel,
which is a
petrol.
big environmental pollution issue in Nigeria and around the world.
Yeah.
But you transform this now into an
yes,
energy source,
Yes.
petrol,
kerosene and some other
kerosene,
things.
and
Yes.
some other stuff, and that can be used to run on your car.
Yeah.
Good.
So that was during my SS1 that I already.
At SS1. At SS1. Okay.
So as SS1, that was-
SS1 is like I don't know what you guys call it, but
that is
senior
fourth
secondary
year.
school.
Yeah, senior secondary school one, fourth
One,
year.
okay.
Yeah, fourth class in secondary school. So during that time, what actually brought about it was more like that. I had the first major flooding in Nigeria.
That's what?
First major flooding
Nigeria.
incidents in
Okay,
Nigeria.
Okay.
So, and each time I watched the TV, it was more of like they were telling us, okay, the problem was more of like people heaping waste, this plastic waste that doesn't biodegrade. People, they find their way into our drainages, blocking it, and then it was like the kind of narrative I see in NTA and the sort of. So I was like, okay. And another issue came up was more of like the government then wanted to ban the companies that manufacture this sachet water, plastic pet. But I was like, we are going to put these people out of job. This actually employs a whole lot of people. If you stop them from.
So you know what marvels me? Your ability to think of solution at a very young age. You're not in the government, you are not even an adult, you are still within the age of adolescence, but you're already thinking, okay, people could lose their job if government put them out of jail. Thinking of sustainable solution. So that's
that was just the typical me then. So now the question was, okay, let's assume I've got an opportunity to go and convince Goodluck Jonathan. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
That
then
he shouldn't.
Jonathan was the
president then,
Nigeria,
yes,
okay.
then. So assuming I got the opportunity to go there and tell this man, okay, you know, we can actually look for a way to handle this without you stopping these people from doing their business. Mm-hmm. Maybe what other alternative would I give him to convince him? Mm-hmm. Okay. I was like, okay, why don't I look for a way to even transform this into where not only recycle, because I know government look for a way to recycle this thing. What if I give him a better idea, option, tell him that in fact you don't only recycle it, but this can actually bring more money and
that's
employ
what
people.
Some people call like upskilling.
Yes.
So upskilling is the way to go.
So that was what brought the idea of these
better.
things.
Okay.
So then one day in the chemistry class, I think the woman was Mrs. HM. That was her name, Mrs. HM. We just know her as Mrs. HM. Okay. We actually loved her during that. She was our chemistry teacher. She was taking an organic chemistry class. That was when she was like, we're doing this heavy molecules or something like that. So hydrocarbons. Told her that most of these plastic waste, the reason why they don't biodegrade is because they come from a byproduct from a refinery of a hydro. Because of that hydrocarbon content in them, they cannot biodegrade. But if you can find a way to remove that hydrocarbon content in them, then they can biodegrade. You can destroy them. So, okay, now the question is, how do I do that?
Interesting.
How do I do that? So I started reading. He told her, but then I already know how to talk about heating. Then those computers that to be put in school then, you could literally go to YouTube and watch some channel and also go to internet and browse. I never had phone then, but I could literally go to the school computer lab and sit down there and watch videos. Sometimes I can read a whole lot on the internet, the ones I can't do in the book. So I started spending most of my day, my break times inside that lab, reading, going to YouTube to watch.
Yeah, so at this point, let me just make it clear. So it was P2B who was the governor of Anambra State.
Yes, he equipped our computer. He has had solar power in the lab.
Okay, so I wanted to just pass a message. So you see how important it is for governors to take education.
Seriously, yes. So he actually equipped the place. We have a free internet and Wi-Fi.
Probably know what he did, how it has helped you.
Yeah.
Right now, yes, as a little child. But because if he hasn't done that, you wouldn't have had opportunity to.
Yes.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was what actually helped me a lot then. Another thing was what he actually equipped the physics and chemistry lab, so we could really do some practicals there, be able to see how heat things and see how they respond to things. So, but going there, apart from interacting with Mrs. HM, that was my chemistry teacher then, he told me that most of the time, you just have to figure out a way. Then I went to the internet. What I read in the Go, because I read about one Indian scientist, trying to figure out how to maybe using, I think that was pyrolysis method, trying to transform this trash, producing diesel. Mm-hmm. But all I could get, the useful information I could get, it was more of like heating and cooling. Okay. I just picked out that two words, heating and cooling. So now it's not for me to go and try out how do I heat this thing. So I started using, I can go and get all this, use all the things. I was able to figure out. I think I still have some pictures. I don't know if I still have all those ones I did in the workshop. I just have packed them into that thing, create a hole, use a pipe, put it in the water and see what. At some point I started getting some condensate inside the water. At first instead I did, I was able to get, I think, kerosene then. That was after so many, trials and error. It didn't actually work out immediately. Sometimes it wasn't really working. I don't know if it was because oxygen was finding its way into the system. So it was more of an anaerobic stuff you have to do there before you were able to get your. So, but as I was doing it and feeling, I was gaining more experience because there was not much information I could do. Yes, I could go to the internet and find, but internet is also knowing what to search for is also another thing. And literally, then YouTube wasn't really popular to me. It was more like I can go to Google.
What year was this? Do you know?
That was 2010, 11 to 9.
Because YouTube wasn't even popular then because YouTube became popular. YouTube started like 2006.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't even very popular.
I was more like internet. I go to those research paper that people already did, all those professionals. So before you know it, during my XS2, I already built the first model that was actually giving me diesel and kerosene.
So at SS2,
Yes.
which let's say probably you are at this time, maybe you are 16 or 15.
Yes, I was already 16, 17 then.
So you already built the first, I don't
Design.
know, this machine now.
Waste to weld.
Waste to wet machine that can convert
Plastic
waste
to diesel and kerosene.
into energy, diesels,
Kerosene. So that was what I was getting there.
At SS2.
So then, but after that, I found out that at the end of the day, I still have waste. After the whole reaction, getting my diesel, I still have some residue.
Waste residues. Okay.
So now I'm putting back waste again. This is a problem I want to solve. I can't literally be creating another one. So now that one was more like figuring out what to do with that, whatever I generated. Because number one, I had the intention that even if I'm someone tomorrow, I can literally tell this, I can literally do this and be able to defend. So that was when I got to know that maybe if I mix it with fine sand or some other stuffs, I'm able to get interlock stones, very strong interlock stones. Within that, after I must have gotten my diesel and kerosene, it's still waste. I can turn it into interlock
So
stones.
the remaining stone, the remaining waste,
It
is
can
now
turn
converted to another
interlock
product.
stones.
So you have different products now.
So that was how the whole thing started. Then that one also goes through a whole lot of modification. Each one I build, I see flaws. I know exactly what to do. I started bringing on automation into it, how to control and the rest of the stuff. Then it was growing, and then I started creating a whole lot of. I think that was when I have my C12, C11, C14. These were just
What is C12, C11 for
the
understanding for those of us?
waste weld machine. These were the designs, improved
so you have
designs.
various iteration of the design.
Yes, I
So
started
you give
giving them names.
Good.
So at some point, I was able to get the one that which I'm actually using to scale up to a larger.
So at the
Standard
point you
now.
got to a one that was more like a perfect
Yes,
fit.
perfect fit
Okay.
on me. I was able to get diesel, kerosene,
Diesel, kerosene,
petrol.
petrol.
I can still make my tiles
That is from
and
that
interlock
same.
from it. Yes, that was then it was always nearing my end of secondary school. Created something very, very nice. Then that one got several awards. Then the generator, I had to go back to it again, refined it. Before you knew it, I designed something very, very good. I said that was even when BBC
Okay.
had to travel to Nigeria because of it. They came because everybody were like, this is not possible, physics, they told the energy cannot be. I don't know, this is not actually perpetual motion. It's just that even with the law of physics, it's not only perfect. There's always, yes, I'm not creating an energy. I'm not trying to create energy. I'm not trying to destroy it. I'm only converting it from one form to another. This is something that people don't really understand about the design. All those things people say, I will just have to figure out a way to go around it. All those flaws, look for this, look for the make up this, for me I can make up there, and then I got my design and it's working. You guys are saying it's working. So there's nothing like trying to create something from nothing. It's not possible. After all, I have to put in something and create. It might not be your normal fuel that I burn, but I have to put in something, then use pressurized water. At the end of the day, I'm getting my energy. Then professors from university, I think from Unilag and some others, all those started creating theories, trying to transform into some theories. My work.
As usual.
So
So you're doing the physical work, somebody wants to come
yes,
up with
the
theoretical parts.
theory was actually coming. Some of them couldn't
To be able
actually
to explain-
arrive.
To be able to explain how you
Yes, some
found
couldn't
those
actually
things.
explain why some tried. But for me, I'm not necessarily interested in all those areas. It's more
Yes.
like transforming what I
As inventors, you are not interested with the
No,
theory.
you can literally speak a whole lot
results.
of. Sometimes too much talk.
Yes.
gets me uninterested in things.
But hold on. Let's gotten a patent.
Yeah, there is a
Patented this
patent.
thing.
I have a patent.
Beautiful. Okay, so
We're
let's
trying to
continue.
file another patent in US currently
Okay,
for
beautiful.
it. So the whole thing, that was just how the whole thing started. Then it was during after my secondary school, immediately after my secondary school, I wrote jam. But I had the opportunity of going to Unity. I never wanted because I'm more of like practically oriented, me looking at something I can literally tell you what I can make out of it. That's typically my kind of person.
Okay.
Too much grammar, you speak too much, it pisses me off. Like, just like I said, it wears me out. Like, I think for me, I just see it as a long story. That's a long story. So then at the end of the day, it was during that, just like I said, like towards the end of my secondary school, that was when I was writing my WAEC. I already had something very tangible, both from the waste to wealth and the generator. These two already are. That doesn't mean I never had or that. There are a whole lot of other things I created.
You did, but these are like the ones that were in limelight.
A lot of people are actually picking interest in. So from there, I got admission to Metallurgical Training Institute. So one day, NCDMB traced me. After watching some of my videos that leaked, they tracked me to the school, started partnering for that waste to wealth. NCDMB, Nigerian Content and Development Board. So I currently, the one I'm telling you, I'm actually trying to build the bigger version of it. The industrial version of the waste to wealth is actually being funded by NCDMB currently.
Okay.
So we are trying to partner. They have been following me up even as of that time to today. So for that particular work. So that was just how the whole thing drew a lot. Then I formed a company, Orange and Electric, with my friend Martin Zinadi, who co-founded it. So now most of these things I do, I now have to come under the umbrella of that company, trying to both upscaling the business part of it is now handled. So back then maybe I was more of like a little individual doing on my own, but as currently now most of those things are actually has an umbrella, the Orange and Electric Limited.
So what's the company name? Orange what?
Orange and Electric Limited.
Orange
it's still a startup,
Electric
yes. Limited.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you gotten any? Okay, so let's break this down. Now you have two major projects. One is the generator which runs with water. This one is the waste to wealth machine that you talked about, which convert plastic waste basically into other form of energy, including interlocking ties. That very one you said that ACMB also they are actually sponsoring or
trying to partnering
with them
to develop it
to
more.
develop their large scale. This other side of this product, so what's happening to it?
You mean
the generator that runs in water?
Okay, that one I wouldn't want to go deeper into that for personality, but it's currently being developed further.
Okay.
In a more bigger scale.
So why I'm asking, if someone like me or anyone else is interested to partner with you to bring that to the market, that's why I'm asking that question.
Sure, definitely. Our company is we are open to people. We are open to partnership. Just like I said earlier, I have a company. I now have a company running. So if people want to come in, want us to do business, want us to partnership, whatever you want to be an investor, literally, yeah.
Okay, because I'm very interested in that. So I also invest in, personally beside YouTube, like, now I'm making my secret, but I also invest in little businesses as I travel around Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I see inventions, I see people doing something incredible nobody already know. So I also big interest to invest in them. But again, when we push out this YouTube video, I know there's a lot of people in the US, Canada, who also wants to give back to the society, especially through innovations like this, who will be interested to come and partner with you. So basically, you bring in their phone, you have some kind of discussion, but again, it has to be a feasible partnership. So you have a product that can actually go to the market, and at what duration it can go to the market.
Yeah. I think yes, we can do that. Yeah, just like I said, a partnership is something we're open to. Sponsorship also we're open to. But for me, currently, I'm doing a whole lot, and another one also. I'm actually serious about trying to upgrade myself. School could be professional courses. Then, because if you actually, I found that school is quite important because it exposes you to a whole lot of things you don't know. Yeah, I might know a whole lot of things. Naturally, I can sit down, think, imagine things, trying to put them down. With the right education, also helps you to get it in the right, proper way. So I also have this kind of idea of if I have opportunity, I need to travel, go study, come back.
Okay, so if you get an opportunity for probably scholarship outside the country, maybe to MIT or anywhere else to study even more, you can. That's
I'm
what you look
sure,
forward to.
yeah. Though in the past, a whole lot of people promised that maybe government. There was even time I got an admission. I tried to work on my own, got admission in the school, but the government in their own part suddenly stopped responding. I spent the whole lot of my savings
in the
US trying to get. Finally, I got the admission, letter, everything. I tried to approach them. I was unable to get access again, get access to them again. But it was like go and get the admission first, and come back for us. So, but then after such kind of account, I felt like I don't need that. Maybe one day I could literally fund myself, sponsor my go and do this on my own.
Okay, so let's break down like the priority. So your priority right now is what? Is it to bring to the market these two products, or is it to just continue to develop yourself?
I think self-development is also important. While I can actually do the two at the same time.
Okay, because I'm asking those questions because if an investor wants to come in to work with you, he needs to know that who he's working with is aggressively looking at bringing a product to the market.
To the market.
So that's what I'm trying to find. Are you aggressively? Because one of the reasons why I try to find you and then track you down here, because after your news went viral in 2009 or so, that you developed a generator that can run on water. Then 2009 to now, nobody's like, everyone went silent. So people like us who come from the same region of Nigeria that you come from, we were worried. We're like, I hope this guy, something has not happened to him. What happened? Because I just hope people in the energy sector have not taken him out and say, why would somebody bring disruption into the industry like this?
No. Something must always disrupt something. I don't think it's just also like I told you earlier. I just wanted to be a little bit underground and work and do the more of the job.
Aggressively looking at bringing this product.
That's what I mean by I'm like seriously being on the ground, being out of the radar while working on the ideas.
Okay. Do you have a timeline, or is it too much to ask?
A timeline now might not be something I can literally say for sure on camera for certain reason, because, for example, you know exactly the kind of environment we're in here in Nigeria.
Nothing. So it's not everything that I can put on camera behind the
scenes. Not
scene.
necessarily, yes. But for now, just know that I'm seriously doing all I could. But if probably there are more help out there, fine, we can discuss that.
Do you have like a range of, let's say, angel investor money that can come in now that can help you complete this project and push it to the market? Is it money that's your biggest issue? Or is it mentorship?
I think all of them are still there. I won't tell you it's just the money there, but with money I can literally do a whole lot of things.
Okay.
About
So
it.
money
But I
and
still,
mentorship
even though the money is there, I equally feel like just like I talked about self-development, is also very important. It's something I feel that I actually need also.
Okay. So my question now is, like, how much do you think if an angel investor watches this video and wants to bring to the table, that he can bring to the table, and within a short period of time, these products can actually be in the market? Now, one of the reasons why I ask that is right now we are facing energy crisis in Nigeria. Our petrol, our fuel that we use has skyrocketed times 3. We used to buy fuel 200 or so. Right now, we're buying fuel almost at 700.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and as well, the world also is transitioning from this petrol
fossil fuel,
energy, fossil fuel
to
into
clean
more
energy
cleaner
source.
energy. Fine. So, having someone who already have an invention, a prototype of invention that you don't have to, you have to use water to power your electricity. So that means basically you're getting clean electricity, you are also saving costs on energy and all of that. So I think it's a critical product that is needed now. So let's say somebody wants to bring this project to reality, because besides generator is just one product.
Yeah, in fact, yes, there's a whole lot of things we want. We just want to focus on one. Once we get one right, the rest follows.
Yeah, so how much funding do you think is good enough to push this and bring this to the market as quick as possible?
I think if we have maybe something like $5 million, we could be able to start.
$5 million. All right.
I'm actually saying that owing to the current situation in the value of Naira.
Yeah. Okay. So if we get an investor who is willing to put in like $5 million, so we're able to fast track the development of this.
Fast track, because I still believe there is still a couple of research to be done, because this is one thing that people also need to know.
More designs and more testing.
We really need, yes, all those need to be wrapped up. Then all we need to do, I think, we just partner with other bigger firms that are already into the field. They might not necessarily be doing this, but I'm sure there are a whole lot of other companies out there that are literally, maybe they have the capacity. All you need to do, maybe sit down, we discuss, you bring in your fund. Okay, fund is there. You do this pass for us. We
so
do
that's
this.
more like acquisition. Then they will probably buy up your company.
No, not necessarily.
Because that's what happens in the tech industry. So normally, like in the tech industry, if somebody is developing an app, they find a bigger tech industry, just say, oh, this guy wants to be a competitor, so they just buy him off. They just buy it off.
No, I don't necessarily need to anybody buy me, because number one company is not going to build all the parts. You can literally tell you, okay, data buying, you do this part of data buying, you get it for me. You just do this for us. Go to the other company, okay, you have to do the casing. That's just it. I wouldn't really want even go to a company completely to do everything. I wouldn't want that.
Okay.
I just showed you the two
working
things.
with you?
Yeah, just like I said earlier, I have a company. That company already have a few people there. Just like my co-founder is there. I think we probably have just the two other guys. But that doesn't mean that people, like, there's always provision made already for people that want to come in. All those things are foreseen. So it's already there. There's provision for people out there.
Okay, beautiful. So thank you so much for talking with us. But what are some of the challenges that you have faced so far?
Oh boy. The environment here can be hell.
Okay.
It's not encouraging.
Like Nigeria is challenging.
Sometimes I envy some of the people I see in China, US. They have almost like everything.
The environment, yeah.
It's easy for them to get it done, but here you have to go extra mile.
Beside all of this, we also know that the energy sector is a big sector.
It's a big sector.
Yeah, so I am not sure that this idea that you have right now, you're developing a product that you're the first to come up with the concept.
No, a whole lot of people. There's always been some, yeah.
Yes, but I'm always worried, probably with the big players in the industry want this idea to fly. Because if I have generator, now what I have to do? If I mean your generator comes to market now, once the day I buy it, that's the day I say bye bye to generator. So I just be pouring water. That's all.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not actually bothered. The world is so big for everybody to play. If maybe we have people like Tesla with the electric cars taking over, I'm sure. I don't think those are big energy. There will always be people that want their own. There will always be people that will prefer ours. I think that's just it.
Yes, so I am very.
So I don't think I'm bothered by that.
Okay, I'm not worried about that. Okay, so for those of you, I saw on your social media, sometimes somebody was going posting, where is Nelson? What happened to this your thing? So for those of you, we are worried whether they will say he's still breathing. He's breathing. And
I intentionally don't just want to.
He's working underground to bring all of this to fruition. So thank you very much. But finally, I wanted to say a few words to a young child, a young man who is living in the southeastern part of Nigeria, who is living in Nigeria generally, because you are from the southeastern part of Nigeria anyway, but who is living in Nigeria generally, to encourage them to know that they can work hard and bring their inventions to fruition. They don't have to join vices, kidnapping and all of that. I want to give like a word of courage.
Okay, for me, the truth is that there's always so many things out there to discourage you, to make you feel that it's not possible. But the truth is that our unique nature in Nigeria is also good for people bringing ideas, because assuming that we have everything already sorted out, people won't think of solutions. But the good thing is, because we have a whole lot of problems, so there's a room for you to think about, what do I do to solve this? So I think that is it. But just knowing that it's not going to be easy, but at least there's always something you can do. out of every 50 reasons why you cannot do this, there's always about 100 why you can actually do it. So at starting, it's not going to be easy. It's never easy, even when you don't start already. Even those that you feel that have made it already, that have grown so big, there's always challenge. But those challenges are actually there to be able to tell you, okay, this cannot work. Because if you don't face all those, you wouldn't know which one will not work. So that's one thing I've actually learned. I've learned that the reason why this didn't work is because there's another way to do it. And that's always been my philosophy. Why something will not work is because they didn't do it the right way. So it's not left for you to do it the right way. So those journey or those time you need to spend trying to figure out the better way to do this. It's a lot of experiences for you, added experience. So that is it.
So basically, even though you're facing some challenges in life, it doesn't mean you should go and join vices or find the wrong way.
There's a whole lot
to
of ways
make
to do
it.
it.
Yes,
It's not an excuse.
Yeah, it's not an
honestly.
excuse. It's not an excuse.
There are so many good things you can do, honestly.
So from being a little child that was very inquisitive, who could not read and write, to now becoming an inventor and probably tomorrow become one of the well-known celebrated inventors that the world will ever produce. I don't want this prototype to remain a prototype. I want it to become a proper product in the market so that I can buy a generator I can use in my house without buying fuel. That's what I want. And also, this other product where it's helping with the issue of environmental pollution, where we can now convert all of these plastic bottles everywhere to a proper energy that can still be used, and also beautiful ties and all of that. It's extremely beautiful. So these are excellent idea. I know you have other ideas, but this excellent idea, I want it to come to fruition. And what you need right now is mentorship, and you need fund. And with as little as $5 million, I'm sure it's something somebody can do. They can reach out to you and say, let's get this done within a period of 1 year. Let's bring this product to the market, and I'm sure you can work so hard to make it happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So,
Although Emeka said he needs $5 million US to bring this product to the market, but I believe what he really needs right now is an aggressive and an experienced investor who will work with him to bring this product to the market. And I'm just wondering who that person might be.